That should do it. Ah, my oldest buddy. Make sure my levels are all right. Looks like it's okay. Decent enough. There. That's okay. There we go. No mic today. Just the old... Normally we hang out and wait for a few people to show up. Let me know when you get into the chat. When you are here, just let me know that you are here. It's always kind of like this in the beginning, where I kind of noodle around on the guitar before I get started. That's good. I like that from Gravity. This is really going along with my mood today. Yeah, the stickers are hilarious. They're not good. I'm ashamed that I put so many stickers on such a nice instrument. I've only ever put stickers on one other guitar, and it was the yellow Tom DeLonge Strat. I think I covered that thing in stickers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. Not as much as this guy, but that one I put him on the front. You ever put stickers on your guitars? He has a Honda sticker? I know you said the Radiohead guy, but the only reason when you said Honda, I looked to my guitar. I have a car sticker on here too. But it's not a car brand. I just said it's HKS. It's a Japanese tuning company. I loved HKS. When I was younger, I used to mess with cars quite a bit, and it was a lot bigger waste of money than guitars were, but they were a lot of fun. I could actually think I could talk about Japanese cars more than Japanese guitars. I love this guitar, man. Somebody asked me the other day, which of the guitars is my least favorite. I had to really think about it, and I think it's definitely the Jazzmaster. I like that one the least. I reach for that one the least, and I have other parts guitars, and a lot of the other guitars are less expensive than that Jazzmaster. I don't really like it. I don't like it. It's one of those examples of, I guess I grew out of it. It's weird. It's really weird, and it's a guitar that I'm never gonna sell, which is, I don't know. Part of me wants to just kind of throw it in the case and not look at it for a while, and maybe one day not seeing it will make me miss it, and maybe that will get me to fall in love with the guitar. But I don't know. It's weird because I've tried everything, outside of getting it plecked, which was potentially going to be on my list. I was thinking about driving out. There's a place 3 hours away called Wolf's Guitars on the other coast in Florida, and they have the pleck machine there. And that guitar just, I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it's because it played so many outdoor gigs and went through so many drastic changes in temperature and humidity, but over the years, the neck just doesn't feel right on it, man. It's just, and it doesn't feel comfortable. It's not a guitar I really reach for. I don't enjoy playing it. I greatly like the Mustang better, and the pink Jag that I pieced together. I would take that. If you told me I had to play a gig tonight, I'd take that over the Jazzmaster too. Just weird. It's kind of sad because that guitar was like my identity for a few years, but I don't know. I guess we all kind of change as guitar players, right? Wonder if that's ever happened to any of you guys, where you just felt you've grown out of a guitar, but you have such a connection to what the guitar means or your past that you'll just never sell it. I don't know. That's that guitar for me, because I could take it. If I never got to play that guitar again, I'd be totally fine with that. I got a Squier Affinity Strat all the way back there, man. That's my first guitar. It's behind the Telecaster. I still got it. That was the first guitar I ever bought myself. I think I spent $70 on it. And yeah, it's decent. If the thing would stay in tune, it'd be pretty decent to sit and gig around with. But my thing is, I have one of each guitar now, and this is my Strat, the JV. And it's just, no matter what I do, I could throw on a new neck. I could replace the pickups. I could replace the electronics. I could do literally everything to that Squier Strat. And it's just, what's the point? What's the point? Because, I have this guy. So, but it is kind of cool that guitars like Strats and Tellys, you can use a lot of the lower end ones and still get like right there in the ballpark with the sounds. It still sounds pretty good. And that's partly down to just how easy they are. It's a bolt-on neck. It's not rocket science, There's not other little things that have to be considered. No maple cap, no anything like that. No glue to worry about connecting the neck to the guitar. It's just straight up one piece of wood, bolt onto another piece of wood, done. The difference is really going to be in, obviously, the electronics, the wood choice of the body itself. But where you're really going to feel it's all in the neck, man. It's all in the neck. A high-end neck can make any guitar just that next level. And that's why, to me, I made a video about this many months ago, but I think the neck is by far the most important part of the guitar. The rest of it can be altered, kind of jimmy rigged, so to speak, and modified where it's not the end of the world. But if you give me a guitar with a bad neck on it, I don't care what the body or the pickups are, I'm not going to want to play it. That's why I love this JV Strat so much. This feels so good. But I had a set of pickups for this. I debated putting them in, but I ended up selling them. I had Fralins for this guy. I didn't do it. And this makes current me really angry, but when I first started modifying this guitar, I was playing a lot of like really, really shitty bars. And if you've ever played shitty bars and you played a Strat or a Tele or any single coil, you learn really quick there's a lot of noise. A lot more 60 cycle hum, a lot more interference than you get used to just playing at home through your amp, and that's already can be annoying as it is. So these are not the stock pickups that came with this Japan vintage 1982 guitar. This is Fender noiseless pickups. It's the very first generation. I got them in the late 90s. And the original pickups are long since gone. So I've always thought this was the one thing that this guitar was missing, was a real proper set of pickups. Because they sound good with the noiseless, but they're not as good as, you know, you're making a sacrifice in the tone a little bit to get the noise toned down for, you know, that overall tone of the instrument. Because these are microphones. At the end of the day, that's all pickups are. They're microphones. So when you mess around with the microphones, obviously you're going to yield different results. And that's why it can make such a drastic difference. It's no different than when you think about, you mic up a guitar amp with like a Blue Yeti versus a 57 versus a $3,000 Neumann U87 condenser microphone. They're going to sound vastly different even though it's coming from the same sound source. Pickups are not too dissimilar in that sense. So it's just something that, I don't know, it's not a pressing need. Like the guitar sounds good, it plays great. It's not really something that has to get done, but would I like it done? Yeah, I would. So one day we'll get to that. One day. And it was weird. I said on the last stream, I wasn't going to do Thursday uploads anymore. Man, I had a video for today. Well, this really sucks. I've been really, as you can tell, I'm just kind of mellowed out. I'm a little bummed. I did all that filming over the weekend. The one video I filmed, I posted the results of it yesterday where I screwed up with the Neural DSP. So I spent between setup and actual recording, because I recorded the guitars and the playing in a separate video file, then I kind of do my talking points in a different one. I combine them and then I edit it all together. I spent 2 hours on that and none of it was usable. That really bummed me out. And then last night I did the tone demo for the White Jag that I just got in the Japanese one. And I thought, oh, I'll make it easy on myself. I'll use the Neural DSP plugin instead of the Quad Cortex, and I'll just go right into Pro Tools and sync it back up. No big deal. And what I didn't do is I didn't hit the setting in Pro Tools where it actually commits you to the sounds that you're doing in the plugin while you're doing it. So I have to go back and manually change the plugin settings for all the different tones, and I didn't have an hour to do that this morning, so I said that's not happening. And I have a really long video that actually I think will be pretty good, comparing the Quad Cortex with the Helix. But that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one because I don't know, you guys watch enough of my videos. I'm technical, but I'm not technical like some of these people when it comes to the real ins and outs of that kind of stuff. I just like what sounds good, and I like what is easy to make sound good. So that's kind of where I'm coming from that. So I feel like in that video I'm going to get a little bit of blowback because I'm not going to be as scientific as some people may want me to be. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's my channel. I don't really care. And if it can help other people that think like I do, then, you know, I'll take that as a win. But we got a few people here, so we can get started talking about some stuff that I wanted to talk about. I had the guitar that I sold to McCarty for will be here, what's today, Thursday? It said July 3rd. Saturday. And this is the first guitar, probably in years, that I've been this excited about. and that's including the Mustang. And I think I would say I'm more excited for this guitar than the Mustang because I knew I was getting with the Mustang. This is a guitar I've never owned, I've never played, I've never seen in person before. And I feel like it might check almost every single box for what I want. And I don't know, I'm really, really stoked about it. And I got such a good deal on it. And it's funny because the shop that I found it from is a shop I talk about, not Dave's Guitar, believe it or not. It's a shop in upstate New York called Parkway Music. And I called them and I asked them, because they list stuff on Reverb too, just like everybody else. They didn't list this guitar there. And I talked to one of the reps there, and I'm like, why didn't you put that on Reverb? I'm like, that would have sold overnight at this price, because it was about like $1,500 lower than the next closest one on Reverb. And he says, well, I don't want to deal with Reverb's fees. And I was like, really? I'm like, you too? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I mean, for you, it's not as bad. And this is the other thing that people don't consider. When you're a big store, like your Chicago Music Exchange, and you move, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gear in a month, I would guess it's somewhere around that. Or even like a smaller scale store, but still a big store, like Mike and Mike's Guitar Bar. They do a lot of business too. Those extra reverb fees suck, but at the end of the day, when you move that much inventory, it's not going to kill you. But for somebody like me, I did $4,000 in sales on Saturday, and they took like $500 of that just straight off the top in reverb fees. And for somebody like me, I'm a one-man shop. Like it's really frustrating. And I was already kind of bummed about that. But then, like I said, going back to the guitar I bought, I'm talking to the shop, and this is a decent-sized shop that has been around for like 25 years. And they're like, no, we don't want to sell on reverb anymore. Like, it sucks. Selling on reverb sucks. So we would rather sell it locally for a better price, or sell it on our website and have people not pay tax and buy it from out of state and do it that way, than deal with reverb. And people are really, really, really sick of it because it's really hurting the bottom line. And you have to remember that extra money is not going to musicians anymore, because Chicago Music Exchange sold reverb itself to Etsy. So you're going to people that don't give a shit, quite frankly, about music or musicians. These people at Etsy, that they want, and rightfully so, because you look at the business that they've developed in Etsy itself, they want the bottom line. They want the most money possible. And if it comes down to them eventually kind of hiking up the fees to, I could see 10%, and I wouldn't blink an eye at that. It was 3% for a while, and I feel like that's fair. I think 3% is fair. 7.7% is armed robbery in my book for not a whole lot. And I don't know. They do provide a service, because there's so many eyes that go to the gear. But does it warrant that much of a percentage? To me, no, not in the slightest. But I mean, you kind of have to play the game. It's just rough as an independent, like a completely independent, to see the payout and just see how much money you lose right off the top to these people. So anyway, the guitar, they shipped it pretty quick. It'll be here Saturday, like I said. I'm really, really excited. And it's a guitar that I don't think you guys could guess in a million guesses. I showed one viewer what it was, and it was somebody who also has a McCarty 594. They were wondering why I would sell that S2 McCarty 594. And I kind of explained why I sold it in another video. I'll briefly tell you again. When I got given the green one, and I changed the pickups on both of them, they both still sounded so similar to me that I felt like I had the same guitar twice. And one thing that me and my wife agreed on is, once I started doing this and really going in with guitars, I was like, I don't want to have two of the same instrument. I want each instrument that I do have to be unique in its own sense, that only that instrument really can do, that given purpose or fill that given tonal need. And the only exception to that is I have two Strats, but the one Strat's a $70 Strat that I've had since I was a kid. It was my first guitar, and then the JV. But when I really sat down and played them back to back for a few days, I was just like, yeah, you know what? They're too similar. They're too similar. So I sold the blue one. But I sent him the picture, and he was like, oh, I get it. I get it. So let me see. What did you ask? Any kind of protections as a buyer or seller? If you're buying on Reverb, it's the best. outside of the fact that you pay sales tax. Like, they'll give you the peace of mind on reverb if you're the buyer. If you're the seller, no. I mean, there's no incentive to sell on reverb other than to just have the most amount of people see your product. That's it. That's all you're paying for. Because even the shipping, this is funny. This is funny. So I sell the McCarty, all right? It goes to the checkout thing, and when you sell something on reverb, it gives you two options. You can either pay for them to have a label, and they'll give you a discount, a reverb special discount on the label, or you can provide your own label and enter in the tracking number from there. So I put in the same exact dimensions, the same exact weight, the same exact insurance through the reverb label, and then I did the same thing through a free account on ups.com. A free account. This is not anything I pay for. And it was $25 less to do it on the free UPS account with the same exact amount of insurance. So they're making money on the back end of that too. I mean, they'll nickel and dime you, man. They're going to nickel and dime you, and it sucks. And I can't say it enough. It sounds like I'm being really harsh on reverb, but I mean, obviously I'm frustrated. Obviously I don't feel like it's not worth the money, but the reality is, guys, you have to do it. You have to do it. If you want your stuff to sell in a timely manner, then there's no place better. eBay is not it. It's not going to be it. It was it for a long time. For many years, eBay was the one, but they got complacent and reverb took over. And I think the only way that reverb will be dethroned will be an entirely new way, a new website. It will take an entirely new website with a lot of the big shops getting in on the ground floor and going along with it. But as of now, you have to do it. And selling privately is always the best way to do it. You make the most money selling privately. You can give a better deal to somebody selling privately. Like on my website, and this frustrated me because the guy who bought the Blue McCarty was a viewer of the channel. And he doesn't watch all the videos, but he knew the guitar from watching it and the demos of the Fralins. That's why he bought it. He wanted that finish, that exact finish. He couldn't believe it was my guitar that was being sold, so when he did, he bought it. But he would have saved himself $250 if he bought it directly from me, and I would have kept another $110. So, I mean, it is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. And that's kind of going to be the end of my little reverb wrap up here. So I did want to bring up something that when I see things like this, it makes me think that I can't be a guitar YouTuber long term. I don't know if I have it in me, man. Because there's a big YouTuber who I like a lot of his content. I think a lot of it is he plays the game to the extent of, you have to do clickbaity stuff to get one, because he has 1 million followers. So to get to that number and to get normal people, not like addicts, like anybody who watches my videos, like you're a junkie for guitars. Like you're into the nitty gritty. You're not a fringe player who just has like a casual interest into the instruments. You know what I mean? So I don't necessarily do things to appeal to people that don't fall into that circle, and that's fine. I don't see myself doing that in the future. But this guy does, and that's cool because obviously he makes a good living doing it. The problem I have is he did a sponsored video this week with a company called Donner, and he kind of starts off the video by saying he's going to take the money that he got from Donner to buy himself a Fender Telecaster because he doesn't have a Fender Telecaster. So it shows himself, he goes to the store, he spends I think like $2,500 on the guitar. So he's already by default here told you that he took the sponsorship money from this brand that makes guitars, budget guitars, and he buys himself a Fender Telecaster. He does the tone tests, and then one of them is a solid body Tele, which is the Fender versus the solid body Donner. And then the next comparison is a semi-hollow body. He does a semi-hollow body Donner versus a semi-hollow body Sir instrument that is a very, very high-end guitar. So after he's told you it's a sponsored video, after he told you he took the amount of money, which is at the bare minimum $2,500 that he got paid to do this video, to buy himself a Fender Telecaster, he proceeds to say do I think that the Sir is worth it over the Donner? The Donner's $120, the Sir's $3,000. And he says, no, absolutely not. This Donner is just as good as the Sir. And my mouth is just like, what? Like, what? How can you say that? Like, how can you say that? It's one thing to be like, this is a good value. This is whatever. This is good for a cheap guitar. But to say that $120 mass-produced Donner Telecaster is as good as a Sir, that's pretty shameless, man. And I mean, I guess the only way that I could take that for face value is, first of all, people will do things for money. People will say things for money. This is not unique to the guitar community. It's not. It's everywhere in entertainment. People will say anything as long as they're getting paid enough money to do it. But I feel like that really hurts a brand like Sir, because part of it is, it's like, when I started playing guitar, obviously go back, I had a Squier. It's what I could afford. And it was a good enough guitar. It wasn't great, still not great, even though I've upgraded it. But I knew that there were levels to this. And I learned that in a very young age. I learned that I always wanted an American vintage, a 59 Stratocaster. That was the guitar I wanted for many years. And I could feel the difference because I was able to play them back to back. And I feel like in this day and age, maybe he can get away with doing that because a brand like Donner you're not going to find in a Guitar Center. You're not going to find brands like that out. And equally so, it's not as easy to find like a Sir. So maybe if somebody has 1 million views, and the fact that he is a great guitar player and he can make the Donner sound pretty good, but I mean, in a blind sound comparison, you can hear which one's the Sir. And it's not close versus the Donner. I mean, it's not close. But still has the wherewithal to tell, his 1 million subscribers that he thinks that, especially in a recording situation, that the Donner is just as good as the Sir. I mean, again, it just makes me think that I'm not cut out for this, to be like that kind of a YouTuber and to ever get to that size, because I could never lie like that. I couldn't do it. And I haven't named the person. I'm sure that if you're in this community, you'll know who I'm talking about. And I debated making like a short video about it, but at the end of the day, it's just like, do I really want to get views doing it that way? No, I don't. I'd rather just talk about it on the stream, where we're going to talk about other stuff too on top of it and kind of see what you guys think about that. But yeah, that just, I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do it. And then Philip McKnight the other day, he's at least a little more clever with this clickbait. He had a video that was, before you buy another guitar, watch this video. And it was, trying to sell you an app that had nothing to do with it. And I was like, all right, that's cool. I mean, you got me to click it, so mission accomplished on that, so to speak. So I don't know. Let me know. What do you guys think about people doing that? And do you find that credible when people say that kind of stuff? And when in your heart, he doesn't mean it. There's no way he means it. Because if somebody genuinely felt that $100 guitar, and it doesn't matter, take the brand out of the equation. Somebody who has a guitar collection of like at least $60,000, because if I had to ballpark guess it by looking at what the guy has that I'm talking about, you're talking about he has at least $60,000 worth of gear. If it really didn't matter, if the gear really didn't matter, why not just sell all that gear and just use the cheaper stuff? Save yourself a lot of money if the end result's going to be the same, if it feels just as good. I mean, it seems like a stupid thing not to do that at that point. But I don't know. That's just me. And speaking of cheap guitars, I will transition away from that very smoothly, I promise. I have another Harley Benton that I ordered that was just released yesterday. And I'm interested in it for a few reasons. First of all, it's a Les Paul, and not all their Les Pauls come with the 4 knobs. A lot of them come that look like this with 3, just one. You have your 2 volume controls for your bridge and your neck, and then 1 kind of tone or push-pull. This one has the real deal Gibson style 4 layout that I've grown so used to, but it has stainless steel frets and much better pickups than the ones that it normally comes with. Instead of the Roswells, I think they're called Teslas. So I'm very interested to see, because stainless steel frets on a guitar that's going to be, I think this thing cost me $300. That's not bad. And the Harley Benton build quality is pretty decent. Substantially better than Donner. Substantially better guitars than Donner. Yeah, so I bought that, and part of me was just like, that's part of playing the game, so to speak. And if I'm going to have to play the game to try and get some views and some more subscribers, like I looked at that one video I did. I actually started doing this, where I did the pink Harley Benton. That video got me so many subscribers and so many views because I just honestly put the thing on the bench and I went over it and I was honest about it, and I'm not paid. I don't get paid. That's all out of pocket. So I took some of the profit that I made on the white Jazzmaster that I just sold, and I was like, technically it's a business write-off. I mean, really, that's what it is. So I'll have another one that will be here on Tuesday. So we'll have another really similar video like that. And if that's good, that'll be a guitar I would definitely recommend to people, because I like the Harley Bentons. I think that they're pretty good. They're not, they're not top tier instruments, and I would never sit here and tell you guys they're top tier instruments. And again, I don't care how much money Harley Benton themselves would throw at me for me to lie to you guys. Not that they would, or not that they have done that, but I referenced back the other video where clearly the guy was paid to hype up and exaggerate his opinion. But I could never do that. But I would say they're good guitars. They're really good value guitars. They're good giggable guitars. And stainless steel frets on a guitar that's well built together, that sounds good, that's reliable, $300. I think we might have a winner. So, I'm going to give my honest thoughts. And if I think the guitar sucks, I'm going to tell you that I think the guitar sucks. When we had that, what was it, the Grote, the Telecaster, that guitar was a piece of garbage. That was the worst new guitar I've ever tried out of any brand ever. And, I couldn't say a single nice thing about it outside of the fact that I liked the finish, the veneer. It was a nice purple veneer. All right, let me read back what you guys say. Well, I don't even care that he gets paid. And I don't even care that he's sponsored. Like, that's not the part that really irked me, because, guys, that they're sponsored. A lot of these, especially the big YouTubers, 99% here they're sponsored. So I don't get mad that they're getting paid. That's not what I'm mad about. I'm mad that this guy, it was just there was so many things in a row that I was just like, why would you say this, or why would you do this? He tells you he's getting a substantial amount of money, enough money to buy himself an American vintage Telecaster, right? So he says that Donner entirely basically paid for that to make this video. And then, so he's going to keep that guitar. And obviously that's a great guitar. And an American vintage Telecaster, it's a great instrument. Doesn't matter how much money you have or what level of player you are. That's an instrument you can take out. You can do anything with. Gig, tour, play at home, go in a recording studio. Fantastic. And then in the same video, he's going to tell you that the $120 budget brand that paid for his Telecaster, that he told you paid for his Telecaster, is just as good as the $3,000 Sir. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry, don't mean to swear, but that's my genuine reaction to it. That's what I thought. I thought, get out of here, man. You're nuts. You're out of your mind. You're not fooling anybody. But anyway, but Harley Benton, they're never going to pay me. I highly doubt that. It seems like when I visited the University of Kansas, the kid on the tour guide wasn't going to be there because it's too humid. Kansas is pretty humid, but Florida is much more humid. But, I mean, at least he was honest. I don't know. I'd rather somebody be much more honest with me and say something I don't like or say something that I don't agree with. I would 100% of the time rather hear somebody do that. And then, we can disagree like adults and, have a conversation. But when you just straight up lie, man, because to me, that's a straight up lie. To say that a $3,000 handcrafted Sir guitar, that a $100 Donner is just as good at it, that's a slap in the face to Sir more than anything else, But and yeah, obviously they don't have good resale value. Harley Bentons don't have good resale value either. Although I am fighting the good fight, so to speak. I'll show you guys what I'm doing. Hold. I tell you guys that I still go to the San Diego Craigslist a fair bit. And the reason that I still shop at the San Diego Craigslist is because I have enough friends there where if I find something that's a really good deal, I will Venmo them the money to go and buy it. And then I'll do whatever I have to do as far as paying for the shipping to get it to me. Or in some cases, I'll have them sell the guitar and ship it out from there. And then, I'll give them a few bucks out of the profit to go from there. But there's a guy in San Diego, specifically in Del Mar, San Diego. Oh, he lowered the price by $50 since I did it, which is still a ripoff. All right. So this guy buys Harley Benton guitars, specifically Harley Benton guitars. I'm just going to show you one of his ads. The original ad for this was $50 more. And this is just a dick move. So Harley. And I am all for, as far as if you're going to resell instruments and mark them up. Take the Tom DeLonge, for example. That's a guitar that's out of production, that has a nostalgia value that you can't get right now brand new for a substantially lower price. So I don't consider that the same as what this guy's doing. So, all right, I got these two loaded. Let's load up some pictures, and I'm going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about and what I'm doing to kind of fight this guy off. All right, so this guy, boom, boom. Let's see. So this guy lists Harley Benton guitars for anywhere from $200 to $400 more than they cost new on a regular basis. So $349 he wants for this, and then he wants another $90 to have a hard case. So he wants $430. $430. Okay? Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So what I do was there we go, post. And then show. I post the same exact guitar that the guy's selling. I say how much it actually costs. I link it to Thomann to show you that this is the same exact guitar in San Diego that's available. This is $120 new. So with shipping, it's $180. It's the same guitar, the same model. And I've actually gotten a lot of emails from people in San Diego being like, I didn't know anything about this brand, but I thought it looked kind of cool. And, I'm really happy that you showed me that that's how much that thing cost, because I would have spent that with this guy. And it just, I don't know, that just rubs me entirely the wrong way to just take advantage of people like that. I don't like that, dude. So pretty much whenever this guy posts something, Harley Benton that's overpriced, and if you go to San Diego's Craigslist, if you're really interested, if you type in Harley Benton, the guy has dozens for sale that are way, way overpriced. The guy's he's a dick. There's no other way to say it. So I've just begun finding the exact guitars and then linking them to the people. Because I don't know, you can buy them newer for half the price in a lot of these cases. And these are used instruments that this guy's just trying to mark up. They're not discontinued. They're not out of production models. So I'm trying to fight the good fight here. And, I have gotten a few emails from people in San Diego saying, that's really good on you for doing that. I don't respond to anything. I don't want anybody to know it's me doing it. I mean, obviously you guys will now know it is me doing that. But not many of you are in San Diego, so it's not like you would have seen this guy doing this. But it rubs me the wrong way when people do that stuff. A package was delivered by Audiomo. What was that? Uh-oh. What did I deliver? To Wakefield, Massachusetts. He just got his Jazzmaster. That was fast. Nice. So I just got somebody, they got their Made in Japan Jazzmaster. Hopefully he has the day off and we'll be playing that guitar. That was a great guitar. And Rowan, you asked me when I made the comparison between the Japanese and the American Jazzmasters, it must have been tough for me. No, very easy. And I don't know if you saw the comment, but for me, what I would do, I would take the body of the American one, the gold body, and I put the Japanese neck on it, and I'd be done. I like the Japanese neck infinitely better than the American vintage neck. And I know that's going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but I like it way more. Way more. All right, what else did I want to get to today? So yeah, we have that. So that Harley Benton, that'll be here. Whoops. That Harley Benton will be here on Tuesday. So we're gonna have that in. That video will be probably Wednesday. I have to refilm the Jaguar demo. So that's twice I've tried to film that. Or no, I don't have to refilm it. I have to go into Pro Tools and just cut out the sections and add the effect I want on each section. The puppy is doing good. I fenced in everything. I have put out basically toad killing poison that is safe for him all around the perimeter of the house so he can run around. Dude, I should have taken a picture of this. There was a toad the size of like, oh my God, like a decent sized cat dead in the middle of the street out in front of my house. He must have gotten some of the poison. He was just like this. He was just huge, dude. Like this big, this tall, feet just dead in the air. It's gross. He's been run over like 9 times since, but when I saw him, I was like, oh my God. But yeah, the thing is with those toads, I've said it a million times, if a dog licks that, even licks it, it could kill it within 10, 15 minutes. Hey, Heather, how you doing, sweetie? Heather's in the chat. Heather is the one that this guitar was named after. Yeah, I've known her for many, many decades. Oh, I will tell a funny story about this guitar and when I lived with her, actually. This isn't the best story as far as what happened, but we were living in Albany, New York, and there was, oh my God, I smoked too much pot as a kid. There were 4 of us in Albany, New York. 2 guys and two girls. Heather was one of the girls, another girl named Alicia, and another guy named Andy. And when it was Christmas time, we lived right near kind of like a college area. We left. Nobody stayed in the house. And it was a house. There was 2 stories to it. We were on the first floor, and then we had other people on top of us. So what happened was all the houses on that street got robbed Christmas morning. When we went back there, my Xbox was gone, my TV was gone, all the Heather's jewelry, all of Alicia's jewelry, all this stuff gets taken. The house is ravaged, man. The house is ravaged. It's so like everyone's panicking. It's like, oh God, the police and this, that, and the other. These morons, the thieves, these morons. This fucking guitar is just sitting on the stand. This guitar was worth more than anything else they stole, and they just left it. I will never understand what they were doing. But, I'm grateful. So, I didn't have to suffer the loss of having this guitar be stolen. But, I'll never forget it, because I walked in, and that's because you walked in the front house, and my room was all the way at the back of the house. So you walk in the front and you can see TV gone, all the DVDs, Xbox gone. And I'm like, they got everything. I'm like, we're dead. First room, Heather's room, they went through all of her stuff, most of it gone. I think didn't you get some of your jewelry didn't get stolen though? I don't think they got all of it. And then the next room was Alicia's, same thing. They ravaged through her room. Then it was the kitchen, obviously nothing to steal there. Then Andy's room, then my room's all the way back. So I had been on my walk of just fear and sadness, thinking that this guitar was stolen. And for whatever reason, right there next to my bed, this guitar was sitting on the stand. God bless those goddamn idiots. God bless them. That's a story I've never told before. But I only thought of it because I have this guitar out, and Heather's in the chat, and she was there for that. So, very, very crazy. So, long story short, if you ever decide to be a thief, take the guitar, leave the Xbox. Don't be an idiot. Man, that was crazy. I still can't believe that happened. Yeah, they had to have been kids, but The other part of me thought maybe they didn't take the guitar because they had hit, like, what, 5? How many houses in a row did they hit besides ours? Do you remember, Heather? It was like 5? It was like 5 or 6 houses in a row, if I have to guess. So maybe they just had so many little things that the thought of them running with a guitar was like, nah, it's not worth it. Even though the case was right next to it too. Nah, whatever, man. Maybe the thieves didn't like the stickers. Yeah, man, I had Dragon Ball Z stickers. What other stickers are on this thing? I got Dragon Ball Z. I showed you it has the one I got in Japan, the HKS, for when I was tuning cars. The Mega Meow bus from Totoro. He's a legend. Weezer, a Charmander, some Chinese food, fortune cookies, Britney Spears, Mountain Dew, 420 store. Yeah. Had some interesting stickers on this guy. Yeah, maybe they thought it wasn't worth anything because maybe the stickers saved that guitar's life. You're right. Maybe the stickers were the reason that they were like, oh, this guitar is probably not worth anything. The moron has anime stickers on it. I never thought of it like that. That's really funny. The neck shape on this, it's a really soft V. It feels, honestly though, it feels like a C. It feels like a C. And when I told you I played the original 1959 Stratocaster neck. It felt exactly the same as this. I still can't believe that. What I want to do is, there's a place called Jimmy's Vintage Guitars. It's about 2 hours away. It's between Orlando and here. And they get a lot of really expensive guitars. And there's another place called Miami Guitars, which is closer, but I think I'd be more likely to get a vintage Strat there. I want to see if they'll let me measure the neck, because I have the tool to do it, to actually measure it correctly and really just try and get some mathematical data on this neck versus that neck and just how it is just that similar. And what boggles my mind is how Fender just didn't copy it exactly from the American vintage ones, and then even the ones that they were making in the 70s and the early 80s, because Dan Fullerton, when they were building those Fullerton ones, the reissues, the first reissues from the Fullertons were 1982. That's when they started making the 57 and 62 Stratocaster reissues. And those did not come out anywhere near as accurate as the JVs did to the originals. And they'll be the first ones to tell you that. Although they're worth more money now because they were made in America. I mean, they were made in America. I don't know why I did air quotes to that. But because they were made in America, they hold a higher value, but they're not as good. I've played both. They're not as good as the JVs. Yeah, I've always loved that guitar too. We didn't have a dog. We didn't have a dog in that house. Unless I really was just that big of a bender. Man, I was on a bender for like, I don't know, like 10 years. It didn't go well. And at that time, I wasn't even playing out anymore. Because Heather used to come and watch all my shows. I used to go out. I was gigging a lot. And then I tried to do college, and that didn't go so well. And then after that, I got a normal job. And I played guitar still, but I wasn't gigging. But yeah, so when I started gigging again, I don't think I've gigged with this guitar since I was a teenager. I've been so scared of losing it or so scared of damaging it that it never came out. It's always been something else. Mostly the Jazzmaster. It's probably my most gig guitar that I have left. And I've already talked about that guitar today and how if I never played it again, I'd be okay with it. But I really want to spoil the guitar that I got that's coming on Saturday, that I got from Upstate, Heather. I bought it from Parkway. I'm really tempted to show you guys. Really tempted. Because there's no way you would guess it. And I don't want to ruin the surprise. And I don't know. But then, I have no patience. My wife, I can't speak. My wife yells at me for this because I'll think of like really elaborate like ways to surprise my child or like gifts and stuff like that. And I'll plan the like show it to her, give it to her like a few days or a few weeks into something. And I'm a sucker. I give it to her like either that day or like the day after. Like, I don't know. I'm bad at secrets. That's just how I am. And she always yells at me. She's just like, she doesn't have to earn anything. She doesn't have to wait for anything. I'm like, well, I mean, she already earned it. She was going to get it anyways. I just figured, I already have it. We'll just give it to her now. But I don't know. Would you guys rather wait and be totally surprised by this guitar? Or would you rather me show you a picture of it right now? I'll let you guys decide. I'll take it out of my hands. And whatever you guys want, that is what we will do. But yeah, just I've been really stressed lately. I've been really stressed lately. This is the first time since I quit drinking that I've been close. That I've been close to drinking. It's not been good. And when I went to, sorry, it got serious there for a second, but like when I went to the doctor, and of course, like I find a really cool doctor here, and it's been going really good as far as not taking like crazy meds or anything like that, because I don't like that stuff, man. But like they sent me a message 2 weeks ago, and they're like, we're going out of business, and I'm like, oh, awesome, cool, I found a good doctor. Now you guys are gonna go out of business, so I'm gonna have to find a whole new doctor. But they're like, oh, so yeah. They're like, you're having agoraphobia? And I'm like, a little bit. Oh, we got one for now. We got one and one. One for now, one for later. And I'll make this quick. I'm not going to rant too much. But basically, the fact that when I quit drinking when I wasn't allowed to go outside for a full year and I was stuck in a house. I didn't get to like learn how to be a human again, like a bar or a restaurant or like a live performance environment without the alcohol. So now it's just like when I'm in that environment, it's like shell shock. And I'm just having a hard time dealing with it. And obviously my wife, she wants to go out. She wants to live a normal life. She's not an anxious person. And I am. And it's something you can't explain it to somebody. So there's just been a lot of friction and tension there. And I'm just trying to work my way through it. So just being a little too much information, too honest. So we have 1 vote for I can be patient. 2 votes for I can be patient. 2 votes for I can be patient. 1 vote for right now. I'll tell you what, I will show you the Harley Benton I bought while other people vote if you're interested in that. Let me see. I couldn't decide on the finish. I could not decide on the finish. I was torn between 2 of them. But I do need a guitar in this price range because, for the example, the other day, I tried to take the Ace, the puppy, and my wife to the beach. And I was like, I'll bring a guitar. The thing about Florida is when it rains every day. And then when it does start to rain, it goes from like super sunny to death, like downpour. So if you're not immediately like undercover, whatever you have out with you is getting soaked. And originally I was like, I'll bring the Mustang with me. No, God, no, that's suicide. Not doing that. So I need kind of a cheaper guitar, whereas if it does get a little bit of rain on it, I'm not really going to care. All right, so I picked between these 2 finishes. Screenshot real quick, and I'll show you guys. You can let me know which one you would have picked. I still don't know which one I like better. All right. Okay, load. All right, so let's go into here. Load up a picture. Browse. Okay, numero uno. And show. There you go. This is the one that I did get. I got it in that finish. I kind of like the zebras. Really slash vibe to it. It was either this, they had a red, and I don't like red. The only red guitar that I like is a Fiesta red Fender, or I like my 339, which, that is what it is. Which we might sell that guitar, depending on this other one. So, and then the other one is this finish. This is the finish I almost bought instead. But they're obviously they're available in both, but I chose the first one. So let me know which one you would have chosen between those 2. I kind of like that. Now I'm looking at that no BS now, and I'm like, I like it. I like it. It's a little classier. A little classier, in my opinion, than the Paradise Flame, as they call it on the other one. Oh, clean. I've been clean for over a year, man. I haven't had alcohol since last June. I'm good. I'm good. And once you get over that initial kind of craving for it, it goes away. But it's the most that I've actually started to crave it. The stress is just too much, man. You know. But I made it. Yeah, I went with the zebras. I thought the zebra was good. You were more scared of going outside than I was at the vaccine. Oh, I'm terrified. I'm not doing a vaccine. I don't want to get censored on YouTube, but all I will say is this as far as with my kid. I'm not anti anything. I'm all for good health. I'm all for all this stuff. It's just my 4-year-old, man. Oof. That's a tall ask. That's a tall ask. Yeah, you still need to be careful. And that's the other thing that I think people need to think about. If you just take apart that side of it. All right, say we're not even talking about the thing that shut down the world in the last year. People need to just do a better job of taking care of themselves, period. Period. I see people that preach about, you need to put this in your body, you need to put that in your body. But these are the same people that, they'll feed their kids McDonald's five days a week. And, they'll drink liters of Coke and all this other stuff. They'll smoke cigarettes and, drink to excess. But, do you really care then at that point? If you're not going to take care of yourself on, a basic level or just even something like exercise, I don't know. If you're not going to do that stuff, then who the hell are you to tell me what I'm supposed to do? Take care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself. Worry about yourself. Do what's right for you and your family. I fully respect everyone's opinion as far as, whatever it is you want to do. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you comfortable. Do whatever makes you feel safe. That's all. And that'll be the end of that. All right. I do want to show the picture of it. I really do want to show it, but they say they can wait. And it's only 2 days away. See, but that's where they get you. Oh, I'm going to get in trouble. They won't let you do anything. I got a notice because I used to play out in a network of venues in Southern California. And I'm not playing in Southern California anymore. But I got an email from one of the people that books. And I wouldn't be able to have played shows going forward unless I could have proven I had the vaccine. And that's tough, man, because you're basically making me choose. Whatever reason in this kind of hypothetical situation. Again, totally hypothetical. Say I don't want to do it for religious reasons. Say I don't want to do it for, I just don't want to do it. I don't get a flu shot, whatever. Or say I just don't want to do it because I'm one of the crazy people on the internet, because I think that there's those three groups. You know what I mean? There's some people that think the whole world is a conspiracy, that Bill Gates is going to eat your babies, and that, Barack Obama is really from Jupiter or some shit. There's some people that, you can't help those people. You have the more reasonable people in the middle, and then you have to respect people's personal beliefs. At least I think so. When it comes to their religion and their philosophical things, you shouldn't force them to go against something like that. So to be told, basically, I'd have to choose in theory, if I was that strong in any of those three camps, that I'm not able to go out and make a living anymore. That's tough, man. That's a tough sell. That's a really tough sell. So fortunately, I don't got to make that decision. I can go out here and play wherever the hell I want in Florida, and it is what it is. And I still go out, I wear my mask. I still do it. I don't know. I'm a considerate person when it comes to that stuff. So that's just me. But I don't know. I don't want to make this all about Voldemort. And by Voldemort, I mean, But nah. I don't know. Too many rabbit holes. And you guys know me. I tangent very easily. And once I see this stuff, my head's just like here, 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 here. Again, I try not to get too deep into any of that, but I don't know. And like I said, I want people to be happy. I just want people to be happy and do what they want to be safe. Yeah, and I'm not talking about constitutional rights. I'm not even talking about anything as a matter of letter of the law. You know what I mean? And that's what I want to express to people in general. Like, I'm not looking at it from the extent of the law says I don't have to do this. Same thing with guns. It's like the law this, the law that. Like, nah, man. Like, I look at it like I just respect people's opinions. And if what you're doing isn't going to hurt me, and what I'm doing is not going to hurt you, I mean, can't we all just, I don't know, live and let live a little bit? It'd be one thing if, we were looking at a video game scenario here, like The Last of Us, and literally everyone was dying. Like, if that's what's happening, yeah, we're having a little bit different conversation. I'm not asking any questions, just do what you got to do. Yeah, I want to live. Believe me, I want to live. I want my daughter to live. I want us to all have happy, long, meaningful lives together. But, I want people to just understand where people are coming from. That's all. So, again, I'm done. Don't talk about this shit anymore. I'm done with it. I've already sworn like 4 times. It's not like I'm monetized anyway. I don't have enough subscribers to get monetized. It's never going to happen. Nobody hits the subscribe button. I've noticed that. And it was funny because this is going to be a good segue. I was thinking that the other day. I'm like, because you can look in your analytics and it'll tell you your percentage of how many people watch your videos are subscribed and how many people aren't subscribed. And it's like 9 or 80% are people that are not subscribed. And then I think to myself, I'm like, all they have to do is hit that button. But then I'll watch YouTube videos and channels that I've watched for years in some cases. I'm not subscribed. And the reason I'm not subscribed isn't because I didn't think not to support the person, but because of the way the YouTube algorithm works, I don't need to search them out. Their video just comes up on my screen every day. So I didn't see the point in hitting the subscribe button because the video is already there. So it's like, I'm already kind of subscribed because when I load up YouTube, there that person is. So I actually totally understand why people don't subscribe. It makes a lot of sense to me. And with YouTube's thresholds, I think it's kind of a good thing that they make you get to a certain number of subscribers. But, it's tough. And because I don't do the clickbait stuff, I don't react to Watch Mojo lists. I don't do studio guitar player reacts to latest Metallica song. Like, I don't do stuff like that. I think that's silly. If you guys want to do that or you want to watch people do that, that's cool. That's just not my style. That's not my thing. If I'm going to get viewers, or I'm not going to get viewers, I'm going to do it on my own terms. So, I don't know. We'll get there one day, but I don't see it happening anytime soon. So, and then when that does happen, I'm going to make pennies. But those pennies are going to add up, and they're going to buy me free guitar strings. That's the way I'm looking at it. If I can get to the point where all these YouTube videos can pay for my guitar strings, then I'm a happy camper. And I actually mean that. I don't have lofty expectations of this. All right, so what else did I want to talk about? Is there anything that you guys would like to hit on real quick? We already went way deeper than I thought we were going to go on a topic that had nothing to do with guitars. So here I am talking about, I'm falling apart here trying not to drink. You need to promise to send them a Happy Meal if they subscribe. A Happy Meal? No, because if I did that, I'd probably anger people in this day and age. Be like, a Happy Meal? Are you trying to give me diabetes? or you support McDonald's, they don't support this or that, or they made a bad tweet once. Oh, man. But no, I tried to give away a guitar, which I'm still going to do. And I said the only thing you have to do to be entered to win a free guitar is answer some questions and be subscribed. I didn't get a single subscriber from that. And after the fact of me announcing that and then committing to it, which I'm still going to do it. I'm a man of my word. I watched a Philip McKnight, one of his Q&As, and he's just like, the last thing you should do as a YouTuber is ever give stuff away. Don't ever do that. Tell us about the time you got kicked off stage for swearing. Which time? Which time? That happened a few times. Heather might have been there for one of them. Heather might have been there for one of those. When I played that auditorium in the gym for Respect Day, I was swearing, and I don't remember what song it was, but I really wanted to emphasize the word because it was kind of like I wanted to do it. But yeah, I swore like loud, and you weren't supposed to swear at all. What is that? What was that woman's name? Mrs. Ritzer, the little woman. She looked like a mouse. She looked like a mouse, but she freaked out, dude. She freaked out, and this old little lady runs like oh shit, like oh no. She runs and just pulled the cord on me, man. And I had no mic anymore. You could still hear my guitars, but I was singing to nobody, man. I was singing to nobody. But yeah, Ratzer. That's gonna bother me, whatever her name was. But yeah, they did not like that. But that was a fun time. All right. Also, I got thrown off the stage once at a place called Saratoga Winners before it burnt down. That was not a good story. That was not a good story. But I'll tell you. I had drank a little bit, and the guy that ran that place was a scumbag. And what he would do is, he would do what a lot of people do. He'd be like, he'd give you X amount of tickets, and then you were responsible for selling the tickets, and then you would get a percentage of however tickets you sold, because back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, that's how you had to do it when you were a new band that didn't have a big enough audience. So we would do that, and we actually filled the place up twice before this. And on the third time, we had still not been paid. So I had gone up there, and I had had a few drinks in me, and there was like nobody there. And I refused to do the sound check. I was not in a good mood. Because you got to think about it, like this guy wasn't paying kids. I had to have been, what, 18, 19 years old? And I'm playing a big venue that all the big bands came in and played. Like Marvelous 3, all the big punk rock bands strung out. It was a nice venue too before it burnt down. But I still to this day, he burnt that down on himself for the insurance money. That did not burn down naturally. But the guy started giving me attitude. And I said, I'm not going to do a sound check until you give us our money. And he says, you didn't earn any money. And I said, we filled the place up twice, and you haven't given us a dime. And he's like, it's called paying your dues. And I was like, paying your dues? And there was nobody in the venue at this point, because obviously we were about to do sound check or anything like that. And I was like, I'm like, paying your dues. I'm like, we did. I'm like, we made you money. We sold the tickets ourselves. You didn't sell the tickets. You provided the venue. We had an agreement. And the guy got mad. We swore at each other. And he said, you're never playing here, and you're never playing another venue in this area ever again. I'm going to let everybody know that you're difficult to work with. And I was like, I'm going to let everybody know you don't pay the musicians. So we had a little bit of a falling out, and yeah, cut off, and he's just like, get the hell out. And I was like, gladly. So we left. But those are only two times I've had incidents with people. The one I could understand. I was told not to swear, and I thought it was really punk rock to swear, so I swore. And she went and cut the mic. That was the end of that. Man, stories I was not expecting to tell today. Not at all. 3 of them. 4 of them. But yeah, I don't like reaction videos, man. I don't find it. I don't see the point in it. If I wanted to react to a video, I would just watch the video and react to it myself. Like I don't need to see somebody else reacting to something. Like it just looks weird too. It's like you have the person in the corner of like the YouTube video, and then the video they're watching, and it's just them kind of like literally just this view. Like, who the hell watches that? What is the appeal in that? I don't know. But I think we hit the all-time low as far as reaction videos this week, because Sweetwater had Gearfest and Philip McKnight reacted to tour technicians going back on the road or something like that. It was just like, I live react to tour techs. I have to find the title of that, because I saw it and I was like, you what? I was like, Phil, I'm like, you don't need to do this, man. You have an audience. Phil McKnight react. Let me see. I react to what tour techs say 6 days ago, 11,000 views. That's just, ugh. That's brutal. I will leave a link to that down below. But he did take it out of the name. I'll give him credit for that. It's just on the thumbnail. Oh, there were many reasons why I drank. There are many reasons why I drank. My thing was, like, I got let into bars way too young. Way too young. Because I was a drummer. And I was good enough at 13 to be playing at, like, decent nightclubs. So I would get snuck in, and, you know, I'd have to hide in the green room, like, quite literally, because I couldn't be out on the floor. I couldn't be out in the bar. You weren't legally allowed to be in the building. And then when I would play drums, you know, they would light it so you really couldn't see that it was me. I'm specifically thinking of a place that was called Northern Lights, and now I think it's called Upstate Music Hall. I think they have new management, but I would have to sit in the green room. And so people would bring me cigarettes and booze, and I started way too young, man. And it just became a nature of habit. You know, I wanted to be cool like all the older people there. You know, I'm not unique in that sense. I just started drinking and smoking too young. That's part of the reason I'm so damn short to this day. I'm telling you, I think that's why. I never hit over 5'7", because I started smoking cigarettes and drinking at 13. I didn't stop because I just kept getting booked for gigs. But we're clean now. No more cigarettes. I haven't had cigarettes in forever. I don't miss those. That's like the alcohol I can look back on and be like, I could kind of understand why I did that. You know, because, you know, you can have fun. Sometimes you can drink, you can have fun. But the cigarettes, what do you get out of that? You get nothing. You smell terrible. Your clothes smell terrible. Your breath smells terrible. You don't get high. It's just, I don't know. Of all the ones, that's probably the only thing I regret doing was the cigarettes. But, you know, can't go back, can't undo it. All you can do is quit, not do it anymore. Yeah. This has been going much better than I expected today. I didn't expect any kind of viewers. I thought I'd be on here for like 20 minutes, talk to Rowan, and be done with it, quite frankly. But that's good. So is there anything else that you guys want to hit on before I give a clue? Or should I give a clue? How long have I been doing this? Over an hour. Stream is healthy. Well, that's good. I like that. All right. I will tell you, the guitar I did buy was a Gibson. I'm not sure if I said that, but I did buy a Gibson. And when I don't remember when I made this video. Japan. I'll make a whole video on Japan. I could literally do a whole video on just Japan. That place, like nothing. Like you can't put it in the words. I can't even put it in the words. In a very basic summary of just how they are there and a perspective of their priorities and their morals and their pride. Think about New York City and how big it is and how many people are inside of it and how horrible it is once you get outside as far as how dirty it is, you know, bums, homeless, robberies, all sorts of stuff. It's New York. It's part of the appeal. You love it. Tokyo runs like a well-oiled machine. you will not find dirt on the ground. You will not find litter on the ground. Period. You won't. It is remarkable, just the amount of consideration that people in Japan have, and the respect. Like, even the people that smoke, because a lot of people do smoke in Japan, but they carry around like this little personal ashtray thing. So like it's always just on with them, and then they properly dispense of it after the fact. Like they have their own little places for it, and it's just they really have so much pride in like where they live, in what they do, and even their jobs. Like it doesn't matter what you do there. If you're just a salary man that, you know, works a typical office job, or, you know, you're a teacher or just a subway worker, it doesn't matter. Like they have like legitimate pride in what they do. And you don't find that here. You don't. Like there's not that sense of like, here it's just like, it's like, oh, you know, I don't really like my job. And a lot of times, you know, I didn't like a lot of jobs I had. It's not like meant to be like a negative on them for saying they don't like their job, but like you'll be able to tell they don't like their job when you go into their work and you have to interact with them. Whereas there, it's like they will really commit. Like they don't half-ass it. They really don't. Just that extra effort and that commitment to do their best and to make the company like look as good as they can. Like it's a whole nother level that it's unlike anywhere else in the whole world to me. And I want to move there. We were supposed to move there. And then the government said, you're not leaving your house for a year, buddy. Enjoy that. Womp, womp, womp. So, but Japan's the best. It's the absolute best. And they make the best guitars in the world. Yeah, I said it. Let's get nerdy. I need your opinion on staggered pull pieces. Depends on the guitar. And what opinion do you want? I like them. On Strats, I love staggered pulled pieces on Strats. It's cool. Kelly, not so much. Strats, yeah. I like them non-staggered on Telecasters. I like them staggered on Strats. Yeah, these guys are staggered. Staggered rhymes with taggered. Don't ask me why I said that. I'm a very strange person. Ah, what a beautiful instrument. What a beautiful instrument. No problem, Alora. And I will do a lot more about Japan. The first actual, well, this won't have to do with Japan so much as the guitars that are made in Japan, but that series, that'll start on Tuesday. That's a lot of work. I have found so much media from the 80s as far as press releases, magazine clippings, and stuff like that from the early 80s with these Japanese guitars. I can't wait to share it all with you. There's so much information. There's so much just timeless stuff I found. EMGs for clean tones, no. I'd rather cut my ears off. I wouldn't go that extreme, but no, I don't like them. I think it also depends on the EMGs. There was one set of EMGs that I actually didn't mind on clean. They were the Marty Friedmans. They're not active, they're passive. And those didn't sound that bad clean. But any of the EMGs that are active, 81s, 85s, 61, 65s, not the biggest fan of the cleans on those. You can kind of like, it kind of adds a little bit of sterility to the sound of it, where that sterility actually works really well when you add in a lot of gain. It kind of tames it a little bit and makes it like that really defined and crisp. It works really well for high gain, and that's part of the reason it does. But what you're sacrificing is, you know, the organic kind of clean tones when you do that. So for me, I'd much rather have a lower output pickup that can do clean, because clean to me it's the whole baseline of the tone of the instrument. If a guitar can't sound good clean, then you're already fighting an uphill battle. That's just my opinion, and that's my preference. You know, some people might play with gain, a lot of people do, probably 90% of the time, and only rarely hit clean. And when they do hit cleans, it'll have either like an ambient delay or, you know, like a chorus or something like that on it. So it's never like really straight clean. So if those are the kind of cleans you're going for, then yeah, you won't really notice anyways, because it's already going to have some processing on it. Let me open the door and see if little guy is looking to go out to take a bath, to take a pee break. He's not. Good. That means he's probably taking a nap. So he'll run in here in a minute because he can hear me now. He's doing good. He is so happy that I built that fence. He can run around. It's nice to see. I posted a slow motion video of him running. I don't post stuff like that, but it was so cute. It made me so happy. It's just like, I wish I could be as happy as a dog. I wish I could be as happy as this dog. This dog, just running to me, has the biggest smile on his face, ear to ear. I'm not doing anything special. We're just playing. Just the greatest. You don't like humbuckers clean at all? I will prove you wrong on that. I will prove you wrong on that. I will change your mind on that. When I used the 339 in the recording studio, I only used it with gain twice. I used it for the cleans, specifically. And I chose it over the fenders in a lot of the instances. AC! You taking a nap, bud? Come on, bud. They want to see you. Showtime. I hear you. There he is. Come on up, bud. Yeah, wagging your tail. Ah, that baby Ace. You want to say hi? Hello. There we go. Got my little guy. He's happy. All right. Have I given a clue today? Have we done that yet? I'm not sure. Like I said, like guys, I have not been myself lately. And I think, that was the last thing I want to talk about, like burning out. I am not burning out of YouTube. I actually really like doing YouTube. If anything, I don't get enough time to do things the way I want to do them, to the extent that I want to do them. I have so many video ideas that require like immense work and immense mixing and immense research and actually writing a script and not just me looking at the camera and, bullshitting my way through it. Because I do that a lot. And a lot of the topics, it's like, you can get away with that. But some of this stuff I really want to get into, especially with the historical stuff and the Fender Japan stuff. I really want to do it right. It just takes time. And doing real tone demos, I was talking to Robbo about this. He's not here today. But we both agree the best way to demo a guitar, by far the best way to demo a guitar, is to do it in a full band mix. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. But in order to do that, I have to have time to write something, first of all. Then I have to have time to track it correctly on the drums. Then I have to write a bass arrangement. Then I have to write the guitar arrangements. And then I have to mix it. And then I have to film all of it and then edit all of it together. And this is not to complain. It's just a matter of, it's time. And I don't have enough time to do it the way I want to. So what I end up doing is I end up not making those kinds of videos nearly as much as I want to. Or when I do, it's maybe a minute of playing time, because that's all I really have as far as writing and stuff like that. Because I don't want to write just boring stuff and do it like that. But I really believe the way forward is interactive gear demos, where I take a guitar and I'll unbox it live with you guys. And then you'll say, what amp do you want to hear it through? How much gain do you want to hear it on? Do you want to hear it through a ribbon mic? Do you want to hear it through the interface? Well, I pretty much full-time take care of a toddler. She's in school today, but she doesn't go to school every day. She only goes to school 2 days a week. And I have her the rest of the time. And the reason we're able to do that is because I wheel and deal guitars. And I make enough money doing that to pay the rent. And I can do that from home, and I can do that from my phone. I can do it from the park while we're playing. And then my wife, to make extra money too, also she works. She's a bartender. So she's, on different hours. So I am with my kid. We have no family that lives here. So, I put as much free time as I can into this. And I love doing this. If it was up to me,
I'd probably stream every day, but I love my daughter, and I don't want to throw her in front of a TV. I don't want to throw her in front of an iPad. I don't want her to not get attention. And part of this is bad because she needs to learn. You need to do some stuff on your own. But I spend all my time with her whenever she's here. We're always doing something. So I kind of put myself second, which, as a parent, I think that's what you're supposed to do. Although when I talk to other people's parents, they're like, oh, yeah, we just shove her in front of a TV. That's how we get all of our stuff done. That's how I still watch all my TV shows and all that. And I'm like, you what? It's like, no wonder your kid's a dick. But it's just a normal thing to do, John wants to know about EMG and humbucker combo. Well, most EMGs are humbuckers. Most EMGs are humbuckers. All the EMGs that I was just talking about are humbuckers. The 81, the 60, the 65, and the 80s. Those are humbuckers, aren't they? And the Marty Friedmans. They're humbuckers too. I've never played a single coil EMG. The problem is, and here's a problem that you might have. If you were to mix, that would be weird. Even thinking about this is weird to me. Mix it, like if you had one pickup that's an EMG that's active, and by active that means it requires a 9-volt battery to produce sound. And then you had another pickup that was passive in the same guitar, that would make for some really, really wonka in-between sounds when you combine the pickups. I don't think I've ever seen a guitar that has that, now that I think about it. If you guys can think of a guitar that has a combination of active and passive pickups, please post it in here. I would love to see it. I'd love to see it. But I don't know. I don't like EMGs. I like clean tones. Like I said, clean tone is the basis of everything. Without a good clean tone, I have no interest in the guitar. Should be seen and not heard. That's an interesting way to do it. Aw, buddy, you got a cut? Who got you? Oh, you got got. You got got. See, this guy, he thinks he's a lot tougher than he is. He's like 10 pounds. At the dog park, he was trying to chase around some big guys. And then they scratched you, didn't they? Now you got a cut on your back. Oh, you're not so tough now, are you? I didn't think so. You should be nice to other dogs. No, I don't know, man. You have to be good to your kids. You only get one chance to be a parent. And I don't know. Without getting too personal here, I want to still enjoy my daughter being a kid as much as possible, because the overwhelming majority of all of our lives are spent as adults, as responsible as this, that, and the other. I just want to have as much time as possible being ridiculously silly with her, doing all the little imagination things, even playing dolls with her, stuff like that. We play with the little Pokemon dolls. We pretend that we're Pokemon trainers, all that shit. There's going to be a day not too far away. She's not going to want anything to do with that, and I'm never going to get the opportunity to do that back. And I feel like you do yourself a disservice as a parent if you don't take advantage of that stuff. That's just me. And I feel like you can develop a lot of issues as a child if you don't get a lot of attention. But you can also develop issues if you get too much attention and then it gets taken away, or, you get to a certain level of this is how much attention that you require, and clearly not everybody's going to give it to you, because that's just not how the world works. So it's all a balancing act. But I'm of the train of thought I want her to be young and still a kid and still playful and still as innocent as possible for as long as possible, which was a key reason we got the hell out of California and moved to Florida. I think we all have some issues as childhood, and thank you, Oscar. I appreciate it. And this place is definitely still America. I saw a guy drinking a Bud Light riding a lawnmower on the street. So I was like, yeah, I'm in America. That's for sure. Ay vey. Lunatics. Everyone's a lunatic. So let me think. Did I even have one for today? I don't think I did. But, okay. I need to think of a clue for you guys. I had one and I forgot what it was. What week are we on? Let me look at my notes. I think I had it in my notes. What do you think, Ace? Did I have one? Okay. Today, I did have one. Sorry. I'm a little behind. Today's is just day to day. That's it. That's your clue for today. Day to day. We have 2 more weeks of clues after that. And then we will be giving away a guitar. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. But you know what? We didn't play last week because we didn't have another person. We have enough people today. Do you guys want to play Guess the Weight of the Guitar, yes or no? You guess the right weight of the guitar, I send you a set of guitar strings. You guys want to play? I'll give you a second to think about it. I'm going to put this guy back out for a second while you consider. But if you guys are interested in playing the game of you guess the weight of the guitar, you win the guitar strings, and I will ship them right to you, you let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to put them out just for a second. Here you go, bud. I'll be right back, okay? Dog? All I ever do is talk. My dog is my best friend outside of my kid. Outside of my kid, I will gladly have a conversation with my dog over most human beings. All right. Where's the scale? Well, that presents a problem. Oh, I got to take the clip off. I was using... No, hold on. All right, we're going to play. But here's the deal. We got to pick what guitar we're going to weigh. Do you guys want to weigh the Jag that we're selling? Do you guys want to do you want to weigh the Jag or do you want to weigh one of my guitars? I'll let you guys pick while I go find this scale real quick. I believe it's actually in the bathroom, and I have the wired mic, and I don't want this to come flying with me while I go. So I'll check my email real quick. I'll be right back. It's not there. It's not there. Oh, there it is. I'm stupid. All right. Let's do this. All right. Clip on. We have the scale. Now let's pick a guitar. I think we're going to do the Jag because I have not weighed this guitar. Yeah, we're going to do the Jag. Oh. Okay. This game is very simple. You cannot be over. This is like Price is Right rules. You got to guess the weight of this guitar. My guess... I want to lift up the Strat because then I'll know for sure. I can tell you with 100% certainty it is not 11. My guess is 7 pounds, 14 ounces. Oh, I gotta zero it. Whoops. That was close. All right, so guess away. It's not 11 pounds, and my guess was wrong. The orange Mustang was 7.14, 8.4. You're a lot closer than you were. You're a lot closer than you were. And the Mustang was, yes, 7.14. You guys can guess again. I don't mind. Remember, the rule is you get 3 strikes and you're out. Heather, you're on your last strike. All right, I feel like my stream is way behind on here. We're going for an hour and 40 minutes. Maybe it's heavier than the Mustang. Maybe it's not. I will say this. The Mustang and the Jaguar are the same scale length, meaning they're 24. So the necks are a little shorter than a normal guitar. I think maybe the body might be a little bit bigger on the Jag. I don't know. I don't want to give it away. 8.42. You are over. You're over. You're close, but you're over. My guess is still, I'd be the winner, but I was wrong. All right, Rowan, I'm going to need a guess here, bud. Unless anybody else that's watching wants you to shoot a number. All you have to do is type in a number and guess, and I'll send you a set of guitar strings. It says there's 6 of you watching. Now I got 2 guesses. No, nothing? Oh, you guys, you're lazy. All right. What's funny is one of the people who won one of these weeks when I did this, he ended up buying one of the guitars that I was selling. So now he has a guitar from this stream and a set of strings that he could put on it. It's pretty funny, actually. $7.35 is wrong, and my guess was closer than yours. $7.73, that's closer. Still not right. All right, guys, I'm gonna hit a timer, and we're gonna count down the timer together. Everyone gets a total of 3 guesses maximum. But once this timer is gone, if nobody has gotten it, we will just hold it for another week. All right, stop. Reset. 30 seconds starts right now. You get one more power off. 5. All right. Oh, you were going in the right direction and you ended in the wrong direction. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, 8.16. 8.16. So it was a little heavier than I thought it was going to be. But I guess 7 pounds, 14 ounces. So I was off by a hair, not much. But like I said, I get to weigh guitars and play guitars all day. So for me, it's a little bit different. And if you don't know anything about guitars, then yeah, it can be a little bit harder to guess. All right, you can get in on it. I've said, Rowan, I don't want to hear you complaining. I've already sent you free stuff. I sent it to you directly from the UK. Jags are heavy. Jags and Jazzmasters are much heavier than Mustangs on average. I've had that one song in my head. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Or I'm going to get it in everybody else's head. I'm not going to do it. I'm a nice person. All right. So if there's anything you guys want to wrap up with, now is the time, because I'm going to take the little guy out, get some of that energy out, run around. He doesn't deserve to be running around in the house all day. This is another reason I don't get anything done, because I won't just let, whether it's my daughter or the dog, just kind of sit around for too long. We got to get outside. We got to do things. We got to get moving. So it's not right to just sit inside and do nothing. But let me do a recap. I talked about the horrible shilling of Donner guitars, which makes me sick. I talked about my 2 new guitars. I kind of talked about selling maybe more of my guitars. I might do a publisher's clearinghouse here. We'll see. And burning out, I started to talk about burning out. We also talked about injections. We talked about constitutional rights. We talked about dogs. We talked to me talking to my dog and how I apparently do it in a very funny way. We talked about how I've been robbed, but they didn't rob my guitar, how I've been kicked off of stages, how venue owners didn't want to pay me money that I earned, how I snuck into bars when I was 13, and that's how I developed a drinking and alcohol problem. Yeah, I'm normal, as you can tell, guys. Lived a very normal life here. But this has been a lot of fun. This is by far the longest stream I've done. We're almost at 2 hours. So I am going to take little guy out for a little while. And then after that, I have to go pick up the little one from school. I promised her that I'm going to take her back to the arcade. She loves the video game arcade, and we have a real arcade here, and it's awesome. And she's learning a valuable lesson, which I've been teaching her about guitars, because she sees, I'll end on this quick story because it relates to buying and selling guitars. And she sees me looking at Dave's Guitar Shop constantly. And there's one guitar that comes up there almost every day, and it's a PRS Custom 24 in the Bonnie Pink, and she likes it a lot. It's a Indonesian made. It's not one of the more expensive ones. It's like $650. And she goes, I really like that guitar. She's like, you should buy it. And I go, I don't really want to buy it. She goes, but you like it. She's like, it's really nice. She's like, it's the company you like. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, I don't really want it. Like, I want a better one. And she's like, well, why can't you just get both? And I'm trying to explain, like, first of all, you can't buy everything. That's not how the world works. But then the other thing is, it's just like, look, if I don't buy this guitar and we save that money, when a guitar I really want to buy comes up for sale, then I can buy it, and I don't have something that's not worth anything, or not worth anything, but something I didn't really want to begin with, just not buying it for the sake of buying it. And this translates to the arcade story, because obviously you earn tickets. And last time we were at the arcade, we had 1,100 tickets. It's a lot of tickets. But the prize she wanted was 2,800 tickets. And she demanded she was going to get a prize that day. But all she wanted was that one prize. And it was killing her that she couldn't get it. And I said, it's the same thing with the guitars. Sweetie, I'm like, if you get one of these cheap prizes, you're not going to be happy with it. You're going to play with it for a half hour, like some little battery-powered glow-in-the-dark, like whatever, penguin thing that's going to fall apart. You're not going to be happy with it. But if we save our tokens and we come back, We play again next time at the arcade. We'll have enough. Then you can get the thing you really want, which is the light up kitty cat nightlight, which could actually live in her room and be more than just a little novelty thing. So she actually agreed. She's like, but you better take me. I'm like, fine, I'll take you. I'm like, just don't throw a fit. We'll go. So it's all about just finding unique ways to teach children lessons and somehow incorporate my own crazy logic when it comes to buying and selling guitars and just how I accumulate gear in general to my child. So hopefully she develops similar habits. But on that note, I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you are all safe. I hope you are all happy and healthy. And tomorrow there will be another normal guitar video. There hasn't been a real normal one in like 3 days. So I apologize for that. But like I said, it's been a lot going on, a lot of errors in filming, which hasn't been ideal. But, you know, work in progress. I'm not a pro. At least I'm not shilling for $100 guitar companies. Take it easy, you guys.